All right, let's start. So,
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Oh, who are you again?
I'm Jordy Dines.
Played a band, I think.
Maybe you've heard of the Jordy Dines Show.
You started that, didn't you?
No, I had nothing to do with that
that's right.
show. Never saw an episode. There were apparently episodes of the show. I'm in a couple bands. I'm in a band called By Divine Right that's playing tonight at Lee's Palace. And I'm also in a band called The Nature Boys. And we're a newer band. And I've been in a couple bands before that too.
All right, let's start with how did you join this band?
I had played a couple shows with this band, By Divine Right, with my old band, The Mark Inside, a long time ago. Years and years and years ago. And we exchanged emails and so forth, and I kept in touch with people in that band. And a few years ago, when I found myself not in a musical outfit, I was like, I'm going to talk to those guys. My buddy Dill, the old bass player from BDR, was like, you should email Jose. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I did it, and then I just started showing up. And I kind of just kept on showing up.
You wedged your way in there?
I did. I really full on did. And the thing was, though, I was just a huge fan from the beginning, so it was easy to kind of just show up and start doing it.
Okay. Kind of joined the band, or did you find there were kinks to work out once you started?
Well, it was easy just because I already knew all the material.
Yeah, you were
I was just a super
right?
fan, and it wasn't easy though to like. It was kinks, you know. It was like got to figure out a band once you join it. It's like I've been in there for 3 years now, and it's like now I'm just really starting to feel like super ultra comfortable where I can have a show and I'm just having fun, you know, instead of like thinking about it the whole time.
Did it take you a while to get through that first?
Heck yeah. Yeah, totally. I was nervous too. Just didn't really.
You were playing for a band that you liked. I've heard that can be difficult.
Heck yeah.
More difficult than playing for a band that you.
I had memories, like I have like vivid memories of, you know, jumping up and down in the crowd for that band.
The Wing Shack show.
Yeah, you know, Wing Shack show and legendary Whippy Wing Shack show, 2000. It was awesome, you know, and
you guys brought them out there, didn't you?
we brought them out because we had been set up with them by our good friend. There's a guy named Keith Hamilton. He's a good dude. You should look into that guy. He's awesome. He's an Oshawa dude, and came to Toronto and set up some festivals. But while he was in Oshawa, we were all in Oshawa. He booked a show for BDR at the Dungeon, downtown Oshawa, and he asked the Mark Inside to open, knowing that me and a bunch of the other guys were big fans. So we just straight up were into it. And that's kind of I was always a fan before that too.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe or characterize your style of drumming? We've all seen on the internet, Wikipedia, was it Crazy Arms, is it?
Spaghetti Arms.
Spaghetti Arms, that's what it is.
That was Clinton.
I know, you told me.
He's gonna be here tonight too.
Oh, no way.
I think he rolled up some cannons too. Anyways,
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Spaghetti Arms. Yeah, I
characterize
my drumming's just kind of like I'm lanky. I'm 6'5". I'm pretty skinny. I like to sit really low on my stool or a throne if you're a drummer, which I don't like to call it a throne.
It sounds kind of like a toilet.
Yeah, it's like, and you know, I like to have everything really close, so I don't have to move my arms too much. But so it's like mostly just my wrists moving, 'cause I'm really lazy.
I found that like, are you fast or slow?
There's there's drummers who like are reaching up here. I love how that looks and stuff, but I can't do it because it's just like after a couple tunes, I'm just dying. Seriously.
This part's not a joke.
No, I'm really tired.
Can you describe it in any way? Like, do you find you're fast or slow, or do you like?
I'm pretty sloppy. I'm a tight sloppy drummer. I'm loose. I don't know how to twirl a drumstick. If that means anything. I'm sad about that, kind of. But I don't know. I'm a fast drummer. especially with the old band, the Markinside, I used to drum really fast, as fast and hard as possible. And now with this band, I've slowed it down. I was in a country band called Drunk Woman for a while, and we're just on like temporary hiatus for now. And that's a slower band, obviously. It's country music, but there's some faster tunes. So I think I'm mostly a fast drummer, but I'm pretty sloppy.
I've never noticed.
I have a drum kit that I've had for almost 10 years, and it's a jazz kit, really old, vintage. And as soon as I got that, my whole style of drumming changed, actually.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. It was pretty neat. I don't know. It was like the spirit of the old jazz man.
Awakened.
It's like this old drum kit was changing me or something. It was awesome. I got it set up. That's the stage.
This is the one that everyone's using tonight?
Yep.
Okay. There you go. Let's see if
I'm
it's...
nervous. Like, if that breaks, nobody's... It's over.
So
Show's over.
So much for the leash show, eh?
Yeah.
Everyone go home.
If somebody breaks that old piece of shit, I am going to have a sip of this.
Yeah, do it up.
It's water.
Suck on it. Come on, do it.
Next question.
All right. Okay. Well, did you want to say anything now about Chris, the Markinside?
Chris LeVar.
Anything regarding
Yeah,
that
I
whole
missed.
past?
I missed the farewell show, which I'm super bummed about.
That was bad timing.
And you were there?
Well, you were.
I was
that
in
was-
I was in Sault Ste. Marie
that
on
was
July
your first show
4th,
or
which
whatever.
was it was the first show of the BDR tour in Sault Ste. Marie, and it's weird because as soon as we got there and we were unloading our gear into the bar, the Markinside came on the radio.
What?
And I kind of almost pooped my pants, and the other guys didn't know what the song was, only I did, so it was just kind of like the hairs kind of stood up. I miss that dude. Christopher was a good dude. Me and him kind of fought a lot, which is just a sign of how close we were. If you can fight with somebody and you keep on hanging out for as long as we did, that's a sign of a good friendship, which I think we had, I would say. And yeah, it's totally fucking sad what happened. So that Markinside record is insanely amazing. I kind of wish I was on it. I'm so proud of those guys with that record. And I feel bad because it took this happening for me to get back in touch with all those dudes, because I've been out of touch with all of them. I didn't get a chance to talk to Chris really before he left us, so I feel bad about that. If I learned a lesson from this whole thing, it would be talk to friends you haven't talked to in a long time, because that shit can, especially if it's just stupid arguments if you're having or something. Even if it's like you haven't talked to somebody for a long time for no reason, just talk to them. It's good.
You never know where they're gonna leave us, right?
You never know. You never know what's gonna happen. It's pretty instant. You know. Anyways.
Next. All right.
Yeah.
So, can you talk about how I got a list of bands here? Sloan, Radiohead, Markinside.
Yeah.
Have affected yourself as a
I love those three bands.
musician or person?
Sloan's a big band because my first show ever was a Sloan show at the Palais Royale, which was later turned into 4 nights at the Palais Royale, which was a live recording that they did. I believe you can hear Chris on that.
No way.
Yeah, yelling loose ends. Seriously, it's totally Chris. And I wasn't there with him at that show because I was there a different night. That night he was there. Rufus Wainwright opened for Sloan. The night that I went, By Divine Right opened for Sloan. And that was my first show ever. So Sloan's pretty huge for me just because that was the first record I also bought on my own. And Radiohead was a big one because I would say that was the one band in the Markinside that all 4 of us...
That's what I was gonna say. All you guys.
All 4 of
loved
us
them.
really liked them. There were other bands that were 2 of us liked them, or just 1 of us liked them. But Radiohead was that one band where we were all just yeah, those guys are fucking wicked. So we went to a bunch of their shows together. I think I saw them twice. I've seen them twice. Yeah. And, the Markinside's just huge for me because without the Markinside, I wouldn't be still playing probably at all. I would have been done with music after Mr. Yarnowski and
Oh my god.
in high school. You know what
Wow, I
I
haven't
mean?
heard
And
that name in a
you know
while.
what's hilarious, man? I know Mr. Yarnowski's daughter really well now because she's an amazing singer in Toronto.
Really?
And it's crazy because she's like, Lish in BDR is best friends with her, and she's like, Jordy, I want to introduce you to my friend Critty. I'm like, I know you. Your dad taught me music for 4 years, and she's like, oh my god. I'm like, what?
I used to hear those stories all the time in high school.
Yeah,
those music stories.
Yeah, so I think if it wasn't for the Markin side, drums would have just been fun instead of what I've dedicated my last 15 years of my life to doing and being broken shit.
That's the life of the musician, right?
Boom.
As long as you're a good musician.
Woo.
This is a random question. What band were you excited to meet, but they turned out to be assholes? Or maybe even vice versa, where you thought a band wasn't going to be nice and they turned out to be amazing people?
That's tough, man. Like, I haven't met too many assholes. I've been lucky enough to play with a lot of really nice bands. I can't really think of anybody where I was like, wow, that was really rude.
What a douchebag.
Like, seriously, it's never come to that. I haven't really opened for too many bands, like, where it was like, oh, you know who I am? We opened, Mark and Side played with the Velvet Revolvers back in the day a couple times. We got the call and they're like, gotta go to Montreal, play with those guys. We're like, hell yeah, we're doing that. So we did it, and we didn't get to meet Scott Whalen because he kind of just ran on stage and ran off stage. But we
He was
got
probably
to meet,
doing things in between.
Yeah, I think he was on like house arrest or something. Possibly. I think he was just trying to keep sober at that point, and he was just like staying away from the arenas, and he was just showing up. But we met Slash, and it was like, I was like, oh, I wonder what this is gonna happen, you know? And that was unbelievable. Dude's like one of the nicest people ever. It's like, come here. He's like, woo. And I'm like, get a picture. He's like, of course. It's not how he talks. But.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
too.
no. Yeah. He's really short too. But yeah.
Are there any bands that you're embarrassed to tell anyone that you like? Do you have any of those?
Like right now or growing up?
Well, you can start with now and then go backwards if there's anyone. I'm sure there's people.
I always listen to Phil Collins, and I usually find people who are like, Phil Collins sucks.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll meet the odd person who hates on Phil Collins. I find that. It's not shocking. I can understand it, but it's kind of like my deal. I like Phil Collins.
All right, nothing wrong with
But no, I just recently got into Rush. I used to hate Rush, and I recently watched that documentary. And I was like, well, those dudes are badass. Those are serious.
Geddy?
You know? Even though, yeah, Geddy Lee. I met Geddy Lee.
You did? No way.
That's the thing. I didn't meet him. I saw him.
It's the same thing if you're telling a story like this.
I saw Geddy Lee on Carlton in front of the gardens. And he was getting into a car. And I was walking by with my friend. And I saw him. And I went, Geddy? And he didn't say anything, didn't react at all. So I went, Geddy Lee? And then he turned and he looked at me and he nodded. And
That's a meet.
Yeah, that was a meet.
He acknowledged you.
Yeah.
That is a meeting.
He almost didn't. It was like, he's like, maybe there's another Geddy around.
Yeah. He runs into that all the time, eh?
Oh, man.
What's the hardest band that you listen to?
Hardest?
Yeah, like not metal per se, but
I love Iron Giant from New Brunswick and anything that Ian Blurton does from Toronto. Probably the hardest shit I listen to. Or, like Zeppelin. On the way home drive home from Saskatoon to Toronto, we listened to 1, 2, 3, and 4 in a row. Because we could. We had the time. What else are you gonna do? We're like, let's listen to all 4 of them.
Was it everything you expected to be? Did your brains explode afterwards?
I know all those records. I had to give Zeppelin a break for a while because it's like, too much Zeppelin. After a while, I will play the shit out of something, and I'll be like, oh, I can't listen to that anymore. I overdid it, and I feel stupid when I do that. It's like, oh my god, can't listen to Zeppelin. It sucks. So I was like, screw it. Did 1 through 4, and that's some heavy shit. Zeppelin's heavy shit. But like, I don't really know new stuff. Even like, there's not too many bands nowadays that I know. I haven't heard the last couple Radiohead records really very well. Or like, I think Hail to the Thief was the last one I kind of
Hell, Thief, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
You're talking almost a decade then, I think.
Oh, In Rainbows.
Okay, that's recent.
Yeah, that's like 2008 maybe. Do they have any records since then?
Yeah, they had one more after.
Yeah, so I'm pretty out of touch with music. So like heavy music, I would just say old stuff. Like I know Black Sabbath pretty well, and Zeppelin, but that's as heavy as I go, really. Yeah.
All right.
And then Iron Giant from New Brunswick, and anything Ian Burton from Toronto does. Come on. And then I think his first band, was Change of Heart. They're amazing. And then tons of other little projects in between. All great stuff. He's just the heaviest dude ever.
How did growing up in Whitby shape? Well, you've kind of touched on that. Do you want to touch on that at all anymore?
How did growing up in Whitby
shape your musical career? It kind of did with Martin Side.
Yeah, just meeting all those guys in high school, because we were all in Whitby. But it was more Oshawa, playing in Oshawa. Because Whitby, we played one show at the Wing Shack, and other than that, I've never played any other shows in Whitby other than house parties at Mike Case's house.
Oh, the graduation party.
So like stuff like that, but more like Oshawa really shaped it. Playing with bands like our first couple shows were with the Failures, and then Cuff the Duke, and then Anagram. Those were all like our real right at the start of our shit was like Cuff the Duke. That's like the Markham side, old Markham side stuff. Yeah, classic days, old Oshawa classics. But that all Oshawa kind of turned me into a thick skin for dealing with crazy people, and then Whitby got me into booze and trying out drugs because it was so boring.
That bad, huh? No.
But it never got worse than pot. That's all I do. Smoking pot. And drinking beer. Boom. That's the Whitby way.
Yeah. Gotta rename the town.
Boom.
All right, I'm kind of jumping around here.
Yeah, I should get, I don't even know what time it is. Do you know anybody know what time it is?
Yeah, I got it here. It's 10:22.
Okay, let's do a couple more questions, and then I just got to run in and check out that first.
Were there any ones that?
I like them all. I love a lot of those questions.
Okay, well, I haven't talked much about By Divine Right. So
sure, let's do that. That'd be wicked.
Do you want to describe By Divine Right?
No, because I love them too much.
All right. Can you reveal anything interesting and perhaps not well known about yourself and the other band members?
Sorry. So, do you want me to explain something about me?
You can reveal anything interesting about yourself or the other band members that maybe people don't know.
Something about me. No,
you like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies?
I like most of them.
Not the new ones.
Most of them, right? No, because like I pretty much, there's nothing too much about me that's secretive. And neither are the other people. It's like we're just like, we're pretty much hippies, and not hippies, we don't wear patchouli or anything. Well, no, I don't.
There's some patchouli.
Anyways, we do have an amethyst on the stage sometimes. So anyways, we're into that shit. I collect wizard sticks.
Nothing wrong with that.
Maybe there we go.
Okay, talk about the new material then.
Love it.
like you
so proud of them.
And you're on it compared to the stuff that you weren't. Can you compare them?
New to old? I love old stuff because I grew up with it, and it kind of got me. Me and Gus both were just right into it and just like, let's start a band. And it was a lot of it was just because old stuff, old BDR stuff. It was like, woo! And now I don't like to I can't compare it to the new stuff because I'm on it, and it's like I feel weird. I've had a couple of the guys from the old band, like the old members of the band, come up and be like, it's the best record yet. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, oh, that's good. I'm gonna cry. You know, so that's I don't know. That means a lot because I don't know. Those were the records I loved so much that even they would say that about this one kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, they don't have to come up and say that. That's totally
No, they don't. Yeah,
of
exactly.
their own volition, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we're all friends too, which is pretty sweet. It's a pretty close knit group of friends, which is pretty sweet.
Cool. What are your and the other member? Well, maybe just your favorite by Divine Right songs to play live?
Awesome. Any of the new songs are the funnest, but I also love playing. All of them are my favorite.
Wow, so 100%?
Yeah,
Wow.
no, because it's just like
There's not one.
I'm
that
having
stands
so
out?
much. I'm having so much fun. Like you'll see it on stage. We're kind of pretty much laughing the entire time, especially me and Lish, because Lish is also a super nerd too, like BDR nerd. So we're all kind of laughing the whole time, just being like, "This is fucking hilarious. This is awesome," you know. So the whole set is pretty much my favorite thing ever.
I definitely noticed that when you were in Hamilton.
Yeah.
You two would just like sit there and like giggle the whole time.
Yeah. There's especially a couple spots where we always link up. We're just like, holy shit, this is really fucking fun. Yeah.
All right, well, here's a good one. You just got back from tour.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to say about tour? Best show?
Tour was the best. It was the best tour I've ever been on. It was the most organized. Even when it wasn't organized, but it was like we were up early and we're like, let's make sure we can see some shit while we're on the road instead of just being stressed out the whole time and freaking out about shows. So we had a couple days in between shows in certain places. So we were hanging out with buds like Adam Henderson and Ian McManus and like Vic Cambley and like they all came to my show in Vancouver, and like those are all high school buddies, you know. So and even Kevin McManus was there, who's Ian's younger brother, who I've known since grade school too. So I saw Derek Ramchartar in Kelowna and in Vancouver. I saw a bunch of friends, which is basically I was like name dropping people there. See that shit? I saw a bunch of friends. Let's just say that, which was amazing. I got to go to. We found a hot spring in the middle of the wilderness in BC, off a logging route, and then hiking for 15 minutes. It's a natural hot spring coming out of the like rocks and shit, and it was hot and it was awesome, and it was the greatest fucking thing of all time. There was an old man there. I thought he was gonna get naked, but I was afraid. I was like, he's like, I've been here for 12 days, camping, right?
He's a raisin?
And he's like, and then he was like telling us about the hot spring. He's like, I keep this place clean, and it's like, thanks, old man. And then he's like, I retired in 1965. That's what he said, and we're like,
Wow. Yeah,
we're like, you're 500 years old. Like, you were so old. Anyways, so that was the best. And then I got to go to Drumheller in Alberta and see dinosaurs, which is, if you ever go to Alberta, go to Drumheller. It's the Great Canadian Gold Rush of 1910 to 1917 and more. So more intact dinosaur skeletons have been found in Drumheller than anywhere else in the world. And it is awesome. It's every childhood's dream to go to Drumheller, and you should go.
It's educational, obviously, as well.
So educational. Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller, Alberta. Boom.
Plug.
Blatant
plug. Yeah.
My t-shirt.
On your chest. Oh.
Yeah. We also lost a van. That happened on the road.
Oh,
Sad.
No.
A friend lent us a truck. We were going to cancel shows, but he lent us a truck. George. Woo. And if it wasn't for him, we would have missed Ness Creek Festival, which is in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. I feel like I'm going to say Saskatoon every time I say it, so I'm just like, Saskatchewan. Ness Creek Festival, amazing. That was the best show ever also, but we also played 2 shows in Edmonton, which were killer. Every show, it was like, even if it was a weird show and it was dead, we were like, let's fucking give her, and it was amazing. Sold a lot of merch, which was awesome, like us doing it, you know what I mean? Just like going and selling to people and be like, let's make it.
Do you guys feel like you have a lot of control in terms of your band and that stuff, like touring records?
You never know. Like on the road when the van died, we had just gotten through the mountains, and it's like windshield wipers are dying. We should go check that out. And the guy's like, okay, windshield wipers aside, your brakes are fucked. It's like, if you want to leave here, you're going to have to sign a waiver with this car, because you're going to die. Basically, right? So we're like, oh, okay. So you have no control on the road. It's basically, all you can do is be prepared, as prepared as you possibly can be. Pack light, maybe. Find friends along the way who have laundry machines.
Very important.
Get stinky. And the most important thing that we learned on this tour, that I learned on this tour, was like the importance of friends across the country. It's like I was meeting people that I've known for almost 15 years for the first time on this tour. I met a good friend named Nettie in Winnipeg, and we stayed at her and her boyfriend Matt's place, and it was just like, I've known you on the internet for like 15 years, but I've never met you before. And it's like, we're best. She's always been a BDR fan. That's how we met. It's like through BDR stuff. And it's like, now I'm meeting you for the first time. Awesome. Friends are the best. And it kind of goes back to my whole thing with Chris. It's like, keep in touch and shit. And it's awesome.
It's crazy.
They bail you out when you need help. You know what I mean? And it's like, anytime you need help, you can. Yeah. It was the best tour ever. And we're going back out in November, I think.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And we're just like, fuck it, it was so much fun. Let's just do it again before it gets too shitty out there.
What do you do with jobs? Because you were working.
I work at a movie store, and they're awesome. The owners of the movie store, one of the owners is a guy, and he's a polka musician. And he's just like, I know how it is, man. He's like an old dude. He's like, I know how it is. He's like, you're on the road, you come back, and you need a job. He's like, call me, and we'll always be there. And it's awesome. So it's not like I work full time there, but I get by with shows here and there now. And this past tour was the first time I've ever come back with really like any dough in my pocket with it. So it's pretty killer.
Awesome.
We were wheeling and dealing. Even with renting a U-Haul from Saskatoon to Toronto, we managed to make a little bit of money. A little bit. Anyways, yeah. I love it though. It's awesome.
Anything else about the tour that you want to say?
Get your brakes checked. If you're going to go out on tour, you don't want to be in the middle of bumfuck nowhere and have your car break down, because then you go out and try to change the tire or something and then get attacked by a pack of wolves. Just saying. Could happen.
You should probably get back in, but
yeah.
Just a quick question. What's your favorite record of all time? And you have to choose one.
A singular record. What is my favorite record? I'd probably go Desert Island, White Album, Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's easy to say that. I was like, it's probably a Beatles album, and I'm like, what's the one I probably listen to the most? And it's probably the White Album. I really like Yola Tango. I don't know. Do you know Yola Tango? I love Yola Tango. They're really influential on what we do with BDR for sure. We're all huge fans. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan.
Enough for all three of you.
Yeah, I'm like super nerd. Love it. A couple of their records would probably be in my top 3, or like one of them, like that one. Mm-hmm. Been listening. I'm really getting into craft work, which is cool. Jose got me into craft work.
German, right?
Yeah, German.
International
awesomeness. But what else? Old stuff, Motown, any Motown tracks. Actually, Motown's my favorite music of all time. Yeah. Motown is the greatest music of all time for me. I'm just like, that's the heaviest shit I ever listened to. Seriously, Motown. Listen to that shit. Standing in the Shadows of Motown, one of the greatest music documentaries ever. Made me cry almost, because it's so damn sad. Boom. I should go.
Boom. Take my hand.
Love you guys.
All right. Let's
Love
go.
you.